How's it going? Welcome to my channel. Today we are reviewing the Caroma 750 watt e-bike scooter. I don't know, but let's get into it. Okay, like I mentioned, this is a 750 watt, it's 1200 peak internal geared hub motor here. It's actually very peppy, torquey peppy. I like the acceleration on it. It's combined with a 48 volt, 10 amp hour battery, so 480 watt hours of battery life. Let's jump right into a top speed test. Alright, so as far as I can tell, this thing has just one mode. Basically, it's power on, power off. I don't see anywhere to increase the power levels or anything, so I'm assuming it's just one mode, one power mode. Seeing that there is no pedals, throttle only. Let's see how she does. It's actually pretty torquey off the line for this tiny little bike. Not bad at all. You can see it got up to about 19 miles an hour right there, and then it abruptly cut. So that tells me that spike's limited to 20 miles an hour at throttle only, which, that's the legal limit, so makes sense. But it gets up to 20 miles an hour pretty quick. It's actually got a good amount of torque for that little 750 watt hub motor. It can pull 1200 watts. Hey guys, before we go any further, please take a second, just hit that subscribe button. It's my goal to make it to 10,000 subscribers. You can help me with that. Just click that subscribe button below. Also like and comment, and please watch the video to the end. Thanks in advance. It has these wired disc brakes with 180 millimeter rotors for the braking. Same brakes on the front and back, same rotors. Let's do a brake test and see how she does. Alright, well, let's do a quick brake test, see how she does. Let's do it from top speed. And right at this pole right here, we'll hit it. Oh, wow. Very good. Yeah, wow. Really good brakes for cable brakes with my size too. Interesting. You can see, for this little bike, a lot of times they come with like 160 millimeter rotors, but you actually get, like I said, the 180s on these. So those brakes are actually quite impressive. Interesting. I like the acceleration on it too. It's a fun little bike. Yeah, so surprisingly, wow. I was really impressed by the braking performance on this. I think it's because they 180 millimeter rotors. They're kind of big for this bike. Now the bike is pretty small, but the ergonomics are surprisingly good for my size. It's got adjustable seat height there, and you can adjust the height of the handlebars as well. Let's talk a little bit about how she feels to ride. The ergonomics on this are actually very comfortable because it has those pegs down there instead of the pedals. Your legs aren't really bent that much, and the seat's pretty comfortable because it's got that spring on the back. It's cushioned fairly well. I got the handlebars all the way down, but they're really good reach for me. Got a nice little bend in my elbows. I'm in a very comfortable riding position. This bike is really small, but I think because it has those pegs down there instead of the pedals, it's comfortable. So I think this bike would actually fit a good amount of people with the adjustable seat height and the adjustable handlebar height. You can pretty much ride it if you're even 6'2", 6'3", you'd probably be fine on it. And it's so small, and the seat goes so low, it's probably good for someone about 4'8" or something like that even. So ergonomics are good. Yeah, so I've already mentioned it, there's no pedals here. It's just pegs, which is very interesting. I kind of like it. Actually, I like this better than e-bikes like this with pedals. Because I don't really pedal. You're not actually adding too much when you're pedaling, especially when it's like cadence sensors. So you don't really need them. This is actually a lot more comfortable to ride. So you can see the bike comes with a rear seat here and a rear rack. You can take that seat off and put whatever you want on. But what I like about this company, a lot of companies are sending out these bikes similar to this with rear seats, but they don't provide foot pegs. This one does. So they actually did it right. They provided foot pegs along with the rear seat. Now, there's not a lot of distance between the seat and the peg, so you're probably looking at, a small person, a kid or something like that riding on the back with you to the park or whatever. It also comes with this front basket here, so you got a little bit of storage with you. You could probably fit a bag of groceries in there, whatever, if you want to run to the store. It has a front headlight here. Here's what it looks like at night. So actually it's not too bad. It's pretty bright. Definitely will do the trick, and you can adjust the angle if you want. So yeah, not bad at all. So to take the battery out, I'm not going to take it out now, but it's pretty standard. You could just unlock it this way. The seat just folds up like that, and you pull the battery right out. Here's a look at the dash. So it looks like we have cruise control. We also have the light switch here, and a power switch with just your state of charge. So there's no way to monitor your speed or anything like this on the bike. It's capped out at 19, 20 miles an hour, so, if you're full throttle, then you're going to 20 miles an hour. I'm back home. I forgot to mention it has this little bell here. let people know when you're coming up. And it has a twist throttle here. So I like these twist throttles a lot better than the thumb throttles or trigger throttles. But yeah, twist throttle. It's got 20-inch wheels with 3-inch, I guess they're fat tires. It does have front suspension that's non-adjustable and no suspension in the rear. But having these thick tires, going over bumps feels pretty comfortable. And those front forks, even though I'm 275 pounds, they felt totally fine for me. So they'll be good for everyone. I mean, the most surprising thing for me is the price of this thing. I think at the time of filming it's like $500, but there's a link in the description. There might even be a little discount code down there for you if you guys wanted to purchase this. You know, the price for e-bikes are just getting insanely cheap. I remember just a few years ago something like this would be like $1,200. Now you can get it for like $500. It's actually better than the ones because I really think they have something special with these pegs instead of the pedals. Just in my opinion, just makes the ride so much more comfortable. That's enough going over the specs. Let's just jump on it and do a little bit more riding. Yeah, it's a fun little bike. It's actually pretty torquey. One of the things that we didn't discuss is range. So with the 48 volt 10 amp hour battery, you're probably looking at 15 miles of range realistically. Some people might get more, really depending on how you ride it. But this is definitely staying close to venture out 5 to 7 miles and feel pretty confident you'll be able to get back home. This thing's, for riding to your local spots, hitting up your local grocery store for a bag of groceries, or just cruising around to local parts and stuff like that with maybe one of your kids on the back, just bombing around the neighborhood. It's great. It's great size for kids too. It's just fun. I mean, it's capped at 20 miles an hour, so you can't get into too much trouble. You can get hurt going 20 miles an hour, but I mean, it's not too bad. I really like how quiet it is. You can hear that motor, but not a whole lot. I've tried a couple e-bikes now with the direct drive motor that don't have the internal geared. I definitely prefer the internal geared hub motors just because they got that extra torque and acceleration. It makes them a little funner. Now, they aren't as efficient. They're a little bit less efficient than a direct drive, but yeah, I prefer these. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll leave the link to this in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.